Aloha, Sam Kamakupoi. Finished my fourth 90-day challenge, which was the Molokai Hoe challenge, and the toughest by far. I started this challenge primarily because of the Molokai Hoe. I started back in September last year, 2011, and when I first heard of the challenge, I immediately, on the fitness aspect of it, thought of the Molokai Hoe. It was something I wanted to do for years, since I was 14 years old back in 1999 with me and my crew at that time. A lot of stuff happened throughout the years. When I turned 18, went off to college. From 2004 to 2007, I was off in school up in LA, so I really couldn't paddle here at home. When I finally moved back, I had to get my life straightened back out and build my career. Once I got a little stable, went back to paddling, found out about the challenge, and it was a perfect mesh and blend between how I can utilize the challenge with the paddling family, the Ohana Wā. July 2012, I started this Molokai Hoe challenge. I finished in October the 6th, and it was awesome. It was an awesome journey, the hardest by far. And when I was going through this journey, there was a lot of aspects I had to focus on, which was mentally being prepared for this race, finding a crew that would dedicate their time and their lives to this race, and sticking it out all the way through. So we did it, you know, me and my crew. I love them so much. Thank you so much for making it happen, and all the guys that believed in it, you know, believed in the vision that we had with the challenge. I was pretty happy with the results that I got with this challenge. Starting 226, I dropped down to 211 the day before I raced the Molokai Hoe, which was my end date of my challenge. It was the day before the race. My body fat was at 13%, which was I could live with. My mind was totally ready for this race from the beginning to the end. My conditioning in my lungs, the breathing conditioning, I guess, was awesome, felt good. I was a little disappointed in my muscle conditioning. I wish I trained a little bit more harder for that aspect of it, because it felt like I could go forever. It's just my muscles couldn't take as much as my lungs could, if that makes sense. So, but all in all, it was awesome. Thank goodness there are, you know, the goals, pros, the neuros, even the vice shake. On the emotional side, you know, for this race, there's a bunch of spiritual and mental game that happens, even physical, obviously, training for this 42+ mile race, especially if it's a team effort. You really got to get everybody keyed into what they're about to take on, the beast of a race, you know. For the people that know about this race and the guys that actually done it, we call it the Super Bowl of all canoe races in Hawaii, because it's that big race that people from all over the world, from Japan, New Zealand, Tahiti especially, the US mainland, Canada, Spain, Italy this year. I mean, all walks of life, all corners of the world, people come out to race this race. So when we actually do it, when we make the commitment to take on this challenge, it's pretty big time. So the whole emotional, spiritual ride was crazy. When we got up there, a lot of praying just to keep everybody safe, all the crew safe, you know, wishing them the best journey back home so no one gets hurt. A lot of emotional roller coasters throughout the journey. You know, sometimes you feel like you're training so hard and overtraining, and then because it's a team sport, it feels like some of the crew is not making that same commitment until a certain point, you know, and when they get it, then they put in the effort. When everyone should, once they commit to this race, they should be committing 200% from the beginning. So yeah, it was a lot of battling of the mind and with each other about just pushing each other to step up the training at that level. So at 7:30, Haleolona Molokai, we put all the canoes in the water and went off to the starting line as soon as the officials told us that we could. We was waiting until 8:00 a.m. is when the race finally started. So from 8 o'clock to about 9:15 around there, we passed La'au Point, which was the west end of Molokai. When we passed that, past that, we had our first change for our crew. The first 45 minutes is the call time for all the escort boats to make their first change if they want to. The problem with us is that our escort boat thought we were in the front, you know, so bless his heart for that, for thinking of us like that. But we were kind of in the second pack behind, and so by the time, you know, our 45 minutes was geared for us to do our first change, we surpassed that by a lot. And we kept going, hour 15 minutes later, our boat finally found us, and then we made our first change. And that's when I felt my muscle fatigue kicking in already, because the way we were training, we weren't training for that long of a first change. So when we did the change, I had to stretch out, did all that good stuff on the escort boat, and I was pumping my first goal. I waited till the first change, mixed in some Pro and Vidify. 15 minutes later, did the second change, got back in there, and I started to get hungry already after having a big breakfast. And so when I got back on the escort boat, I pumped a chocolate Vi shake, shaked it up in my cup, and just tanked it down. I felt good, felt refueled again. 15 minutes later, jumped back in the canoe. That was about maybe 2 hours into the race already. That's when I could feel the drive from there. I could feel the momentum building. So I started hammering, and by the time maybe 3 or 4 hours, we're battling with this one crew, Waikiki Beach Boys, Crew 3. They're the drive the whole way. I mean, from the start to the finish. When we met up at about the 3 hour mark, we met up and we were battling the entire way back home to Oahu. Somewhere along the way, my stomach started to turn a little, because I had just had a bunch of liquids in my body and I needed some actual hard food. So I had a Nutri cookie. I had 2 of them actually, chocolate and oatmeal Nutri cookie. Put that in my body, washed it down with the Vidify and the Go, and some Neuro with water. And my body felt perfect after that. All the way, just continued the same routine, just doing our 15-minute changes, 20-minute changes. You know, I got to steer, so that was a big dream come true. Got to steer in the Molokai Hoe, so mahalo to our coach Wills for making that happen. I didn't even ask, he just threw me in. And just in case he got hurt, everyone was training to fill his seat. And you know, his back got a little sore, so I don't blame him. He was paddling for like, I don't know, 15, 20 miles straight when he finally got out. And so he switched him out. Me and our other crew member, Ali Popa, got in there, and Nelson Borello got in there to take his place and steer the canoe back home. So along with him too, you know, he got back in there. He wanted to go back paddling. I think seat 2 he took, and he was just trying to stretch out his body instead of just steering the whole way.